갈까요?
Neo Requiem. Somebody's giving a handy dandy link to the Wikipedia page. Alright, here we go. Ladies and gents, that is Neo Requiem.
경기 박정석 홍진호입니다. 뜨거운 박수 부탁드리겠습니다.
Yoink. Wait, is this the map where he who shall not be named lost an elimination race because he had like 12 links next to a pylon and didn't attack it or something? Is that the map? I can't remember. Anyway. Oh, apparently I'm correct. Nice. Oh wait, what? Did they... Oh, it's not Requiem. What? Oh, did they just host Finding Spirit? Oh, that's lame. Lame. Lame Zor. Well, I do know Finding Spirit at least, so that's good. Okay. So that is an interesting pylon position. I've never seen a pylon placed there on Fighting Spirit before. I don't think. I don't think that pylon positioning makes any sense. That conforms to none of the standard walls, and even for an impromptu wall, that looks bad. So I don't know what Reach is thinking there. Is he just going to build two gateways side by side to semi-block? That might make sense. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be Overpool again from Yellow. He's playing it normally, playing it standard. He seems to be the more experienced of the two, at least. I think Reach did stop playing before Yellow, to be fair. Although I'm not 100% sure. Alright, gateway in one. What? Okay, this is just terrible. Look, because he's gonna build. Okay, so he's gonna build the cannon on top of the forge and the gateway on the right, but still touching, so it's tight. So there'll be a tight wall between the two buildings, but there'll be a giant gap to the right of the gateway, and also that gap will be facing the ramp, which means it's ridiculously easy for a run by to happen. That's just an abysmal wall. I'm sorry, Reach. I love you, Reach, but that's just terrible. All right. Although I guess last game, you know what, to be fair, at least this time he's going to have his gateway blocking the cannons instead of last game where the gateway was like completely off to the side because he didn't leave enough space. But yeah, see this, he just clearly, Regis is clearly not laddered in a long time. Because, you know, one of the first lessons of a poor little newbie Protoss when you're laddering is how to not die to Ling All-Ins. Although on the other hand, there are of course still many decent players who do very strange looking walls. So yeah, see the gateway is going to kind of fit right there in that space, and it's going to be tight with the forge, but there's going to be a gap on the right side, which is not ideal. So what is going on here? Third hatch at the 9 o'clock. Interesting decision. You know, normally in ZVP when you face a Forge Fast Expand, you do take the fast third base there with your third hatchery. We saw Yellow do something different last game, but that's probably because of the map. But normally what you see is the Zerg take it at another natural expansion so they can get an easy fourth base. But in this case he's taking a close third, and it's not even the 12 o'clock because obviously that's closer to the Protoss. He's taking the 9 o'clock. I'm not really convinced by this play on Fighting Spirit. I generally think taking another natural is better unless you're doing some kind of wacky like Hydra opening or even super fast mutas. But this is Yellow, so he could actually do either of those things. We shall see. Anyway. So, it looks like just a few links moving over. Yeah, nothing too crazy so far. And of course, since this is Fighting Spirit, we have, you know, proper gas at the natural and all that good jazz. So could see a longer game here. Could see a more interesting game. Hopefully, Reach gets observers in decent time this time. Getting Lurker contained on Fighting Spirit is also pretty sad times for Protoss. It's not as easy as some maps, but it's still pretty brutal. And in the meantime, looks like three wings. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, it looks like they're going to trap this probe guy. I'm actually not sure. Did Reach see that 9 o'clock yet? He's going to see the creep now, at least, so he'll know it's there. Yeah, so he's going to see the creep. I don't know if he got close enough to see the hatchery, but he obviously knows it's there. And what do we see in his base? We see a Stargate. Again, look at this building positioning. He's just placing, throwing down buildings willy-nilly, completely randomly, wasting a lot of space there. Doing that is an easy way to trap your own units and also just mess up your macro because you don't have anywhere to build stuff with pylon power, and also you just can't find your buildings anymore. Really not a fan of the random building placement. I mean, it's not even something that you need to like practice. You just build stuff next to each other. Don't leave spaces everywhere. And it's not that hard. So 3 Zealots are moving out now for Reach. Yellow already has like 6 Lings behind them, and with a bit of good drone drilling or some extra Ling reinforcements, he should be able to take care of this fairly easy. Yeah, he's already made 4 Lings as well. Looks like he saw it coming out. So he's gonna be completely fine. He's got Link speed as well. So these Zealots actually can't even run away. So Reach has just sacrificed 3 Zealots, but of course they are manlots, so they're not really too concerned about that. You can see they're like, oh, 12 Zerglings, no problem. And by no problem I mean, well, they killed like a Zergling. Man, I gotta say, Yellow's actually pretty decent here. Despite, not even being in esports anymore, basically. Like, he's actually an actor in TV dramas or something. Looks like Reach is gonna try and block that. I don't think that's tight though. Yellow thinks it is. I'm pretty sure Lynx can actually run along the right side there. Although I'm not 100% sure. Maybe they can't actually. I'm actually not sure now. But it felt like Lynx could actually make it through there. Anyway, I saw the core spinning. It looks like Reach might be going for some +1 Corsairs here. Getting some mass +1 Sayers. I Play Things says it's 100% tight with the Zealot. Alright, I believe that. I'll believe it. I guess it is. Whatevs. And still no Overlord speed from Yellow. So this was something we saw in the last game already, where Yellow didn't get Overlord speed for a very long time, even though he wasn't going Mutas. Normally, the only time you get really late Overlord speed is if you go for fast Mutalisks off the 3 hatches. But he just went Hydrolurk Ling and still didn't get Overlord speed, which is a little bit weird to me. But this game, he is actually getting Mutas, so now if he delays the Overlord speed, it does make a lot more sense. You just want to save that extra gas for the Mutas, and you're not as scared for your Overlords, because obviously you're the one trying to take air control. So, looks like about 5 Corsairs done now. I don't know if they're +1 attack yet. I imagine not. And that's actually not that many Mutas. So, Reach should actually be able to defend this fairly easily, actually. I would imagine, as long as he's kind of paying attention here. So be careful. Okay, a lot more Scourge have joined the fray. That's 6 Scourge now. If Yellow clones it properly, obviously, you can pick off 3 of the Corsairs. That'd be very, very big. But oh man, it looks like a DT finding a small opening here on the side of the 3rd base here. It does get 3 or 4 drone kills before being picked off. Meanwhile, whoa, looks like the Mutas. Oh, almost managing a snap off Corsair. Not quite, but they will have to run away now. It doesn't look like Reach is stacking his Corsairs, by the way. He doesn't even have a trapped probe anywhere, which is really weird. I mean, surely he knows about that trick. That trick was invented a long time ago. I don't know why he's not just trapping a probe behind his mineral line so he can stack his Corsairs with the magic boxing. Yeah. Oh, maybe I should explain that for some StarCraft 2 players. In Brood War, magic boxing works a little bit differently. You can stack groups of air units by just like grouping them with a really far away unit, like an Overlord or a trapped probe or something like that, and then they'll all like stack really, really nicely. So yeah, the standard move when you're going mass Corsairs is to deliberately trap a probe behind your mineral line with pylons, and then just group it with your Corsairs, and you can get them nice and stacked. And the really reason you want to do that against Muta Scourge is so that it's very difficult, if not impossible, for the Zerg player to clone his Scourge and put 2 Scourge per Corsair. Instead, he just has to kind of A-move the group, and oftentimes you can get like 6 or 8 Scourge, just hit 1 Corsair and be a huge waste. So yeah, it's still a little bit weird. Although, on the other hand, my Corsair micro is terrible as well, so who am I to judge? Who am I to question the Mantos? Seriously. So, looks like Corsair's flying around now. Reach is being cute, trying to be like a more modern Protoss. Nowadays, Protoss generally go for this kind of +1 Sarah shenanigans. Because nowadays also the Muta micro is really high level as well, and Zergs like to go for like fast 4 base into Muta. So going fast Sarahs is pretty common to see. Although, looks like Yellow gonna lose all of his Mutas here, not paying attention. Oh, he's not happy about that. The King of the Skies, the Storm Zerg, is not happy about that. I wish I knew what they were saying. So, looks like Corsairs are going to retreat from the incoming Scourge. Nope, they're just going to deal with that, realizing they have enough. Their +1 of course should be done as well by now. Meanwhile, still slow Overlords here for Yellow. He's also trying to get a 4th base here, getting a little bit blocked by those Zerglings. Reach in the meantime, while he's harassing with these Corsairs, he did add a lot of gateways just now, like 5 additional gateways, so I don't know, this could be just leading to some kind of 2-base all-in, just do as much damage as he can with the Corsairs, like supply block Yellow as much as possible, and just do a huge attack off of his 2-base. I mean, we can see he's not attempting to take a 3rd at all. So he's got 7 gateways in total, it looks like, unless there's some other random one on the right side, which is not quite all-in numbers just yet. It's still reasonable to just be aggressive with the 7 gates and then get a 3rd base behind it. But I guess we'll see here. He's going to have to do one or the other fairly quickly with Yellow taking a 4th base. Either Reach needs to take his 3rd now or just go for a huge attack. And the reason Probe actually moving to the 3 o'clock, so actually it looks like it is going to be a bit more reasonable. Not just going to be a 2-base all-in. Even though I think that could have worked well with Yellow being greedy with the 4th and still losing Overlord to the Corsairs. There's a couple of Lurkers blocking Reach from taking his 3rd, and we already saw how late he gets his Observers in the last game. I don't know if he has them just yet here. I thought I saw a Robo, but I'm not sure. In the meantime, we actually have double Evo upgrades from Yellow. He's got a decent SimCity at his natural, but it still looked a little bit open at his 3rd base. So if Reach kind of goes around the south side and maybe attacks the 3rd, or especially the 4th base obviously is completely open, that's probably a better idea than attacking headlong into Yellow's natural. See the Observer finally coming out here. The Observer is going to join the army. Oh man, Reach has got to be careful here. He's got a lot of Zealots in his composition, and they're just getting murdered by those Lurkers here. But yeah, notice that Reach brought his Observers straight to join the army and didn't clear out the Lurker at his 3rd base, which is quite problematic. He's really, really hurting for a 3rd right now. I actually imagine his money's getting really high, because to be on 2 bases for so long with only 7 gateways, he's not actually making many more Corsairs either. So he's just producing off 7 gateways and not spending money on a 3rd. I feel like his money's probably a little bit high right now. I mean, obviously we can't see the resource counts, but I would imagine that he's banking maybe 1,000 minerals. And here we go, he's moving out again. He already lost a lot of the Zealots earlier to that unfortunate attack into the Lurkers. His Corsairs are still doing some nice damage, but that's about all that he's got going for him. He's kind of poking out on the map, the Lurkers keep pushing him back. There's a nice Observer snipe there by Yellow. There is still another Observer though with Reach, but look at that, so many Lurkers in the army. And really Reach's army doesn't look that big. Oh man, he's going in once again, he's attacking with everything. Really needs to keep the Zealots back here. A-moving with all you've got is not the way to break a Lurker field. And again, Yellow snipes the Observer, so Reach has no way to detect these Lurkers. The only thing you can do against them is storm them, but that's a bit of a waste, especially if you don't see any clumps anywhere. Looks like the Dragoons are going to do a bit of nice damage here to the Hydras, but yeah, those Observer snipes are really, really keeping Reach back, and he's not trying to take a 3rd. I don't know if he even knows about that 4th base at the bottom left. Reach is just kind of being a bit stubborn here with this attack at the front. I don't think this is the way forward here. Lurkers are really effective, but more so defensively. If you can just move around the Lurker field and go attack somewhere else and force them out of position, you're in good shape. I really don't think he should keep going with this. And Yellow moving in once again, he's going to try and get the Observer. A Storm discourages those Hydras from going in too far, but of course they do push the Observer back, keeping it away from the Lurkers. And is he going to get it? No, the Observer does barely live here. The second snipe attempt doesn't work, and actually Reach is now pushing through here, but there's so many Lurkers against a lot of goons. Is it going to meet off the Observer? Does fall again. So once again, oh my god, Reach is just bleeding his Dragoons. Cannot keep the Observers alive. Ay, 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 ay. And it looks like, whoa. few more Zealots run in there. Meanwhile, Yellow now going for Hive. Of course, in ZVP, your Hive, you can delay that for quite a long time and it's fine. Hydro Lurker is still very effective for a very long time in ZVP. So there's a lot of reasonable Hive timings. Reach now, since he can't take the 3 o'clock because of that Lurker, is now trying to take the 12 o'clock, but obviously that's not going to happen. And Reach is saying something. Oh man, he's like, why couldn't this be like the good old days where I could just 2-gate and win? Why did Zergs have to figure out how to stop that? Actually, 2-gate PvZ was never that good, to be honest. That's why, you know, the move to Forge Fast expanding was so revolutionary. Because before that, like, Protoss has actually just really struggled in this matchup. Anyway, it looks like Big Lurker Link Force is going to engage, and it looks like this time, you see, this is what I'm talking about. Reach, forcing the Lurkers out of position, can maybe get a good angle here. He's backing off. I think he probably could have kept going down towards the bottom left. There are a few Sunkens there now, but those won't really stand up to a big Protoss army. And it looks like he's pulled a few units away from the Lurkers as well here. This is exactly what he wants, to just pick off some of these free units, the Hydras and Lings, without the Lurker support. Yellow's army is really centered around these Lurkers, which most of which he's actually still left at his natural. It looks like that one Zealot has somehow taken down the Sun Colony. I don't know if there was actually another Zealot there, but oh man, Reach once again going into the established Lurker field. Yellow trying to snipe the Observers. I don't think he's going to get it this time. And actually, Reach, is he going to break through? There's a lot of Dragoons. There's still a lot of Lurkers. Reach should not be sacrificing his Zealots first. The way to engage this is to hold your Zealots back while the Dragoons clear the Lurker field and only send the Zealots in if the Zerg player sends in Lings/Hydras. Or when the Lurker field is cleared. Reach kind of showing some of his rustiness here, really not engaging the Lurkers very well at all. I mean, he had a pretty big army there, but threw a lot of it away for no reason. And now with just a handful of goons and not really any supporting units, he's going to be completely pushed back. And he's still on 2 base. He's mined out his main. He's only mining from his natural now against the 4-base Zerg here. He's grinning to himself, but he's getting owned by Yellow. And Reach is just adamant about continuing this fight. Man, that Lurker block on the 3 o'clock kind of really forced Reach into an awkward position. Not really forced, but Reach was going for a 7-gate kind of, you know, more aggressive mid-game into taking a third. And then for some reason decided not to take the third just because of one Lurker there, and instead go for a really big attack and kind of turn it into an all-in. But he didn't have the gateway count then to actually support the all-in, so he was like all-in without actually being able to produce many units and also not having the best army control. So he's now, as you can see, finding himself in dire straits here. He actually, for some reason, doesn't have that huge of a pro count either. Well, I guess old school players don't really make that many probes. And GG apparently from Reach. Yellow takes down the show match 2-0. Easy peasy. Man, but those are actually not too bad games. These guys, they're not terrible. Could win some games on IC Cup, that's for sure. Yellow, actually, in particular, seems to be still quite solid, surprisingly. So that is that for that show match. And